it's Becky and I'm back for my second video of my 30-day video challenge. All right, so I was trying to think about what can I talk about today. So I decided, what is a health coach? I mean, that makes sense, right? So what is health? Okay, health is basically the state of feeling or not having an illness or an injury. I think that's the exact definition, actually, if you look it up. But anyway, so that's what health is. But what comprises being healthy? Is it nutrition? Is it mental health? Is it emotional well-being? What is it for you? It's different for everybody. And that's what is interesting about this whole health coaching thing. Now, how did I get into health coaching? Great question. The true real story is that I got into a little disagreement with a friend of mine, a buddy of mine in the military, about the military's program, the Army specifically, their program for people who are overweight and don't meet their body fat percentage, or they aren't passing their physical fitness tests. Okay, so that's like my realm right now, until I retire. Okay, so we got into this disagreement, and this is like kind of a meathead, used to be a Marine, and a fitness guy, you know, no formal training or anything like that, just two people with their own ideas, okay? So I started researching a lot of different things, and the military has, or the Army has, this program called the Master Resiliency Course. And I feel like if you want to long-term change people and their behaviors so that way they can maintain their body weight and their body fat percentage specifically, and also pass their physical fitness test, which at this point in time, it's a run, sit-ups, and push-ups. It's changing next year, or yeah, next year. So it's going to be completely different, completely different. So I'm not even worried about so much getting people in shape for the PT test. I want people to be fit. And I feel that people need to have the mental stamina in order to maintain all these other parts to themselves. So I started researching a lot of different things. And I also am very, very fond of helping people with PTSD, TBI, and people who are undiagnosed for those as well, and are still stuck on the stigma of not getting any help. So I was looking into what I want to do my master's in then, and that kind of like this debate or whatever started spinning into me deciding, well, maybe I don't want to do mental health counseling or be a clinical psychologist, or maybe I want to be a dietitian or go back into teaching. Now, with these specific like fields, you really have to have had your bachelor's degree in that realm. Like, to be a dietitian in New York and get licensed, you have to like basically go back and have your another bachelor's degree. And I'm just not looking for that stuff. Well, then I figured, you know, I'm transitioning out of the military. You know, this is a good niche also, along with people who have experienced trauma, have a stigma where they don't want to seek therapy, and overall it's affecting their health. Okay, so I find this health and life coach certification course, and I take it. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't even tell my husband that I was taking this, okay? So I went ahead and I started it, and you know, then he kind of started figuring out, like, why is she making all these phone calls like she's in school or something? So I was, and what I've been learning that a health coach is is really tying in a lot of my background, but pushing it into a way that can help people. And I really love that idea. So I get to take all of these different interests of mine and kind of combine them together and help people on an individual level, or a group level. So health coaching is helping people improve their quality of life. That's the best way that I can kind of say it. Now, how does it work? You know, all right, how does it work? I'll tell you up front. We have a conversation, and that's our initial conversation. Everyone is encouraged to talk and do this initial session with me, okay? It doesn't cost anything. It's no charge. At the end of the conversation, we can decide if I'm a good fit for you, if you're a good fit for me, because maybe, you know, we aren't going to work well together. If you've ever worked with a trainer, like a personal trainer or something like that, or even a doctor or a dentist or a therapist or anyone that pretty much like provides a service, you have to have that connection. You know, you have to be able to be comfortable with each other. So it's not a pressured sales type, you have to commit to something, you know, nothing like that, okay? But you'll get something out of it. So this initial conversation basically goes a little bit like this. So what is going on? What's going on? What's going well for you? You know, because I want to be on that positive train, like I talked about in video 1. We will bring up some problem sets and negativity and things that haven't worked for you in the past. And we're going to get to the root of your goals, not your problems, not, you know, trying to fix something. No one needs to be fixed, okay? No one needs to be fixed. Whatever you've experienced in your life, wherever you are at this exact moment, is where you are. And that's okay. You know, we live in a world right now where there's a lot of media pressure, social media, there's pressure to look a certain way. There's a lot of filters. I had my 20-year high school reunion this year. I didn't get to go, sorry. But, you know, I saw some meme and I thought it was really funny, but it's like, oh yeah, everybody looks so great in these photos. Well, because everyone filters everything, right? Like, this is not me filtered right now, and I'm doing this on purpose because I want people to see me, and I look a little ragged at the end of the day. I've got little, you know, dark circles. I'm not fixing up my makeup at the end of the day to do these videos. So this is what you guys get. Because that's the reality of it, okay? All right, so back to what is our conversation going to kind of go over? So our conversation is going to kind of go over what type of goals you have for yourself. In video 1, I think I mentioned something about, what was it? Education. If someone they want to improve their education, that's going to be like a life coach type thing, okay? But that's fine, because everyone needs energy. Everyone needs a good sleep cycle. Everyone needs a solid water intake. And I feel like a lot of people, they know what to do because you can research anything really now. But the difference with having me coach you is that a few things are going to happen. You're going to be able to draw things out, okay? Because that's what I'll end up doing. I'll end up drawing things out of you, so that way you can discover what it is that you really want. And that's going to be your goal, all right? You may say, like I've talked to one girl, And oh, she's great. She's like on it. Okay, she has a goal, she has plans. I've known her for like years, okay? But this is the first time that we've kind of really talked a lot. And she's on it, okay? She's like golden. She has her goal, and her goal is to be prepared for her end state goal. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like people, their goal is their next step. Me, I want your goal to be, boom, who you are, okay? Who you are meant to be, who you have always inherently been inside of you, okay? And we are going to try to take your environment and make that sustainable for you, okay? Now, we can try to fit into a box, or we can try to make the world around us fit us, right? It's all about framing, reframing, and everything like that. Another thing that you're gonna get from me coaching you is you are going to, you are going to go through self-sabotage. I have a soldier, and I was explaining to him what a health coach is. And I brought up self-sabotage, and I go, yeah, you know, we kind of go through this program, and it kind of already tackles ideas or times of how long along the pattern someone might hit that self-sabotage, like in their life. Like when things are like starting to get really good, it's, oh no, your brain goes, hey, this is too good to be true, back off. And fear kicks in, okay? And we'll talk about fear in another one. We'll talk about self-sabotage in another video, and everything like that. So I say self-sabotage to him, and he goes, every day. Like, that was it. I was like, yeah, so, you know, people will have to, like, self-sabotage after, like, a few weeks and stuff. He goes, every day. And it was just, like, the funniest thing, because he's like, I know. He's so, like, well aware of what he's doing that he is consciously self-sabotaging himself daily. And he knows it. So that, to me, shows an underlying issue that really needs to be addressed in order to, ding, 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 here we go. Here's the key. Here's the end state. Habit change, okay? That's what's going to happen. We are going to physiologically, neurologically, and emotionally recalibrate you and your mindset and take your pattern of life, which is basically your daily routine, everything that happens throughout your day, from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, even while you're sleeping. These all are habits. I don't remember what the number, like the percentage is, but a majority of the actions that we take throughout the day are just habits. We don't consciously think about them anymore. Like driving to work. Okay, well, while you're driving to work, are you stopping at Dunkin' Donuts or something like that? Are you knowing what's causing that? Is it because that's part of your routine, or is it because you know that you have a meeting to go to or something like that? These are what we're going to go through, and we're going to take your daily pattern of life. We are going to identify the habit loops throughout, and we are going to alter and replace negative behaviors with positive changes. I need you to know it's not always gonna be a quick turnaround. I learned something back in college, like a long time ago, in like 2000, like the year 2000, like 20 years ago. And I was taking micro and macroeconomics. And the teacher said that you can have things good, you can have them fast, or you can have them inexpensive. So you can have quality, you can have quantity, or you can have whatever, the other one. But you can't have all three, okay? So if you want something fast and really good, like a good product, it's going to be really expensive, okay? So you're going to have to invest in that. If you have a quantity of something and it's going to take time to do it, it's going to take time to do it. Okay, that's just the way it is. So everyone is going to be on their own timeline. I start with a 90-day program. I just need you to know that that's just, you know, kind of a manageable number. We can work together and come up with whatever time frame you really want. But it's recommended the 90 days to start out. And then, you know, we can continue if you want to go ahead and dive in and commit to a year. Like, okay, a lot of me and my peers, my friends, are all into that time frame where they're hitting the end of their 30s and going into their 40s. And I personally could totally dedicate a year to health and wellness, like fitness or something like that, just because it's kind of one of those mile marker years and it makes sense to me. Okay, I'm going to take this next year and I'm going to do this. It sounds like a New Year's resolution, but it's really not. Anyway, I digress. Call me, set up an appointment. There's no commitment that you need to have. If you feel like you just want to have that initial conversation because you want to learn more and maybe get something for yourself to figure out where you actually are at this point in your life and where you want to be, maybe that's enough for now. It just takes one small step, okay? So go ahead, contact me, and let's set up a time to talk. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.